I want to ask you a pretty serious question. Do you set goals, or are you one of those people who just kind of like dive into the new year or new era or new quarter without any real plans? Well, today I want to be talking about how you can set goals effectively and stand out apart from the crowd. Again, as per usual, don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Michael Tabirade, an independent management consultant and founder of the consultancy, The Mastery Group. Now let's get into it. So I'm going to be talking about the principles of effective goal setting. I'm going to be using my slides to help me out. So really and truly, for me personally, when it comes to goal setting, it's about understanding yourself. Okay, that is the foundation to any type of goal setting. Why do I say this? Well, if we think about what a strategy is effectively the approach that you take that has a unique value to an audience or a market. What does that really mean? The approach you take is the style that you use when you are attacking your goals. It is the values you are adopting, i.e. the things that are important to you when you are attacking on your goals. And again, values are really important here because they determine the behaviors and routines you need to take in order for you to be effective. And so when thinking about all of this stuff, it's very important for you to start thinking about what do you want to focus on, okay? Now, I have something known as the chaser method. I haven't got it on here, but essentially chaser stands for choose, highlight, action plan, systemize, evaluate, and repeat. So essentially, if we're looking at something like the wheel of life, okay? So in the wheel of life, you got health, wealth, and relationships. I've got my own version of this called the pillars of mastery. You would pick one area, okay? You would choose that area. Let's say, for example, you would choose wealth. The next stage is highlighting within wealth what you want to focus on. So in this instance, it may be business. And you need to think to yourself, what does a 10 look like within that area? You can talk about what you're currently doing and all that kind of stuff there, but you need to think about what does a 10 look like in that specific area? And then once you understand what a 10 looks like and you're clear about what your current space looks like, then you can start to determine a plan to bridge that gap. That's essentially what you're doing. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be all these different things. So when it comes down to it, start thinking about this stuff. Now, of course, when you are developing these plans, you can sort of like write stuff down and whatever it may be. What I have found useful is using AI. Okay. So what you can use, say for example, you've got a Google Pixel phone as an example, or maybe you have the voice notes app on Android or iPhone. Or maybe you use something like a meeting assistant that writes notes to help you track information that comes out of your mouth. So basically what I'm saying is you sit down and you record your voice and you get the AI to transcribe the information behind it. That's what you do. Rather than sitting down, that you can do the whole writing thing if you want that mind-body connection thing. You can get AI to do it as well. And the beauty about this is that you don't have any tools like that. You're just speaking. And so that's one thing you can start doing. You have to make sure that if you're not even at this space, then what may be helpful is really adopting some of these different tools. So we've got here on the screen, as you can see, okay, or you won't see on my screen actually, you got SWOT analysis. So if you're starting from scratch, SWOT analysis looking at strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So really that's talking about, okay, cool. What are the strengths that I have? What do I recognize as things that are a unique advantage to me? This could be a competency / skill. This could be experience that you have. This could be a deep, insatiable passion or interest that you have. What are the strengths that are in your favor? Are there any people who support you that add to your strengths? And then weaknesses. Weaknesses could be things that, again, that you don't have, i.e. competencies and skills, experience, etc., etc. And then based on that information, you want to understand what opportunities are there. So based on the market, based on your strengths, based on your weaknesses, what can I capitalize on? And the same thing with threats, they're the opposite. What things are posing as a risk or potentially an issue towards me? A risk being something that hasn't actually happened yet, and an issue is something that is currently happening. So these are things you can start thinking about now. Then we've got the Johari window. I've got a video on this, so you can check it out. It's a very old video, but it still does the job right now. Which talks about the open area, the blind spot, the hidden area, and the unknown area. So essentially how it works is, you'll go to your friends and family and you'll get them to pick a word or a couple of words that describe you as a person. So for example, for me, it may be something like practical or logical. It may be, I don't know, funny or silly, or it may be something centered around professional and resilient. Okay. You get about 5 to 10 people to do this, and you see if the same words or similar words pop up. Okay. And so if the same words pop up, this is your open area, as can be seen. It's known to you and known to self, because you want to do this for yourself as well without seeing what other people have done. You then want to see what is known to self and unknown to others. So this is known as your hidden area. So you may have selected things that other people haven't said. Maybe you think you are inquisitive, but other people don't think you are. You want to know what is unknown to self and known to others. This is your blind spot. So people keep on saying, oh, you're great at this, you're great at that, but you haven't recognized it yourself. And you also want to make sure that, you think about areas that you may not have covered and other people may not have covered. And this will gradually get smaller with time, but you just won't know these areas. So hopefully this gives you a bit of an idea in terms of how you can start to understand yourself more, because this is about planning, this is about goal setting, but you need to understand yourself first. I spoke about the chaser method before, which is a way for you to identify a certain area within your life in order for you to move forward. But this is the step beforehand, just in case you don't have anything to go off on. And then finally, there's, again, the Eisenhower matrix, which is pretty useful. And all this is really talking about is, based on all of this information that you have in terms of your SWOT analysis, your Johari window, understanding the different areas of your life, what do I need to, again, prioritize? What do I need to schedule? What do I need to delegate, or what do I need to delete? And really and truly, where it says do on this presentation, that's what you're highlighting as important, okay? You're highlighting that as extremely important. That needs to be done urgently. It just needs to be done, okay? So listen to the words I'm saying. It's urgent. The schedule bit is more centered around it's important for you to do, but it doesn't have to be done right now. When it comes down to the delegate bit, delegate is not just delegate anymore, because it's not like we have staff who can support us all the time. Luckily, I have the support from friends, family, a virtual assistant, but sometimes we don't have that. So maybe the delegate is automate. Maybe you need to automate that task. Set up some time to make it an important task to schedule, to then automate for the future, and then delete or get rid of. These are tasks that are wasting your time. I do believe you need to have a bit of delete in your life, such as watching TV, having fun, etc., etc. But you can't just be doing those things. So hopefully this makes sense. So let's move on to the next bit. So now we are talking about common pitfalls when it comes to goal setting. Now, really and truly, it's very, very important to make sure that you are as narrow as possible. What do I mean by this? You can't just be having vague things to say. Oh, I want to become rich. Oh, I want to lose weight. I want to do this, that, blah, 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 blah. So what? God can't hear what you're saying. Okay, maybe you want to say the universe or whatever it may be. But the great designer who put us all on this planet in this universe doesn't understand that. You need to be decisive. So maybe, you understand for your height weight ratio, okay, you need to be X amount of kg. So let's say, for example, you are, 6 foot and you're currently 90 kilograms, okay? But really you need to be 80 kilograms. Then you say to yourself, I want to be able to lose 10 kilograms of body fat. That's what you want to lose. Maybe it is a certain aesthetic you want to have. Okay, maybe you want to lift a certain weight. So maybe you want to say, I want to lift 1.5 to 2 times my body weight. It is specific. Vagueness doesn't work. Now, you can't be so specific that it's demoralizing and you know, it doesn't allow you to move forward. But you still need to have specificity behind it. I know they talk about SMART goals and all that kind of stuff there, but when it comes to SMART, for me, yes, specific is important. Measurable is very important as well. It has to be measurable, because if you can't measure it, it doesn't exist. And it needs to be put into your routine on a daily basis. So that's what I start thinking about when it comes to the vagueness of goal setting, all this kind of stuff there. So question I want to ask you is, what one goal have you been meaning to achieve but haven't started on? So make sure to comment below and let me know. And of course, if you need support, if you need help, if you need guidance when it comes to goal setting, your business, career development, etc., then complete the form below if you would like career or business coaching as a senior leader, business leader, or consultant/contractor. So let's keep it moving. Now, we want to talk about the strategies for successful goal achievement. Now, this is something that I have utilized. I call it the productivity pyramid. And essentially, it talks about the different layers in terms of how you can get moving specifically on your goals. So let's talk about this in a bit more detail. So we've got at the top, purpose. Okay, we're starting from the top. You have to have a sense of purpose. What is your sense of purpose? What is your reason for being? What is the context behind you as a person? This is all the stuff that we did at the beginning with the chaser method and all that kind of stuff there. You then want to establish your value. So based on your information, based on who you are as a person, what do you deem as important? Sometimes, like I've got this in my book, Understand, Reach, Expand. And if I can show you a copy of it, I can't seem to see it on my bookshelf. That's not good. But anyway, Understand, Reach, Expand. Essentially, in this book, I talk about the experience magnifier. Okay. And essentially, it is an exercise where you go back 5 to 10 years, maybe even 15 years, depending on your age, and you pick out hallmark experiences that meant something to you, and you extract from that the people who helped you, how you felt, how you feel now about the situation, what were the lessons learned, and what was the key value. The beautiful thing about this is that, again, you can use the voice notes app, or you can use some sort of AI helper to assist you to listen to what you're saying and extract all that information for you. So there are some powerful tools that can enable you to do this stuff. So the experience magnifier, sort of like exercise, is a great way of doing this. Next, we have vision. So what is the vision that you're telling yourself? The vision essentially is the future state. Your vision is essentially what you are aiming to do. Okay? And a good vision is clear and concise. It has a resonance to you, it's meaningful. Okay, there is some sort of measure, and there is some sort of ideal state that you're moving towards. Okay, so one way of setting visions is thinking about maybe even the I have a dream speech. That's a perfect way of setting a vision. When Martin Luther King said that speech, you could see it. That's what a vision does. You could see it. So maybe you want to use that as a framework and develop your vision. Okay. I have a dream that one day I'll be making millions of pounds every single minute. You get the picture. Okay. Obviously that's a bit drastic, but the point I'm making is you can see it. You can use something like Napoleon Hill's framework from Think and Grow Rich, where he talks about your daily pledge. That's helping you cast a vision. Okay. And so these are different ways in which you can cast a vision. You can check AI or examples online in order for you to check and develop a vision. So next we have life area strategy. I said before this was centered around the chaser method, but this is more specifically centered around chaser because it is focusing on a life area. So again, for my pillars of mastery, I talk about progress, performance, people, and person. Okay. Progress is all centered around wealth, okay, business, finance, portfolio, careers. I'm not going to go through all of them because I've done that before. Maybe for you, you're focusing on portfolio, careers, so you're focusing on that area. Then you come down a notch and you look at what objectives you have, okay? So what objectives do you have? What outcomes do you want? And what projects or tasks you need to do, okay? Which leans into the next bit. So this is the productivity pyramid. This gives you a very clear framework in terms of how you can go about it. It's my firm belief that you don't have to go through the whole thing like chronologically. Sometimes you may go through different bits. Maybe you're clear on your purpose, but you're not quite sure what area you want to focus on, life area. Maybe you're not sure on your life area, so you need to go back on your purpose. Maybe you've got all of those stuff honed down, but you're not quite clear about the daily habits and routines that you need to stick to. So hopefully this gives you a clear idea. Bonus tip, you know me, I like a little bonus. Now, it's important to recognize that it says the secret to tripling success. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. So maybe not tripling, but at least increasing or improving your success. Now, for me personally, and this is my personal belief, you have to be able to visualize your goals. You have to visualize your vision. If you don't feel it, I just don't believe it's going to work. Now, not everyone's wired that way. Sometimes you just need to take action. There's a video I was watching the other day. I say the other day, but really it was today, centered around action is better than intelligence. Action is better than intelligence. You need intelligence. Intelligence to me is the ability to learn from your environment and change your behavior based on that in order to get a positive result. That's intelligence. It's just how a missile works, okay? It acts based on its environment and then it becomes even more dangerous in terms of its pursuit and target. And so with that in mind, yes, you need intelligence, but the intelligence I'm talking about here is being a smart aleck. Sometimes you're so intelligent, you create excuses for yourself. You need to take action. And so you need things every day that invigorates you to take action. For me personally, it's important for me to have my vision board on my phone. So I've got a vision board on my phone that has like 12 different things that I'm focusing towards. And it's just there. I hadn't had it on my phone for a while and I decided to put it up the other day and I thought to myself, wow, I really feel connected to this. It's making me want to take action. So maybe you want to do that. Maybe you want to use something like Adobe Express, which I believe is free, or Canva. You can even use Google Keep, where it organizes a collage of these different photos that you get in relation to your goal. You can even use Pinterest for this and take a screenshot and put it as your desktop or put it as your phone screensaver or whatever it may be. You just constantly need to have those things there. And I think in addition to that, it's making sure that you listen to and you have the right people who are having the right sort of information conversations. So crucial. I think this is underrated actually. And so when thinking about all of this stuff, you know, it's important to recognize that visualization is key. And I've got written down here that 42% of people are more likely going to achieve their goals once it's written down. Forgotten what doctor did this at what university. I think it was in California and Napoleon Hill, something like that. But you can research it yourself. Writing down your goals are key. And again, I keep on talking about the AI element. You don't even need to write it down anymore. You need to record it. That's the specific language I'm using. As long as you say it somewhere and it can be interpreted and recorded somewhere, that is important. It needs to not just be recorded or written down, but organized recordings. That's where you become dangerous. But you don't want that to just take over your life. And this is why I advocate the use of AI to get this stuff done. So hopefully this has given you clarity. So if we move forward, in summary, start with self-awareness. Start with your sense of purpose. Start with that and align your goals with your values and prioritize them with a clear plan. Be specific and ensure you align all of those different goals with your personal values, focusing on fewer ones and more meaningful ones. Regularly review your goals. I think this is a big one. I didn't even talk much about that. Review your goals regularly, okay? Now, it does become consuming if you're one of those people who are going to do daily journaling or weekly this, that, but maybe you just want to stick to weekly and monthly and that's it. If you're one of those people who are on it, I'll do daily journaling, okay? Weekly reflections, monthly reflections, and then quarterly reviews. What's the difference between a reflection and a review? A reflection is just really looking back and understanding and interpreting what's gone on, good, bad, all of that kind of jazz there. A review is looking at all of that plus ensuring that you've stuck to your goals, and if not, do you want to continue navigating forward or do you have to make some changes? It's more strategic. Remember, strategy is the approach you are taking, and so you need data. You always need data when it comes to strategy. When thinking about strategizing with anything, whether this is professional, personal, always think to yourself, okay, what sort of analysis am I doing at the beginning? What sort of planning am I doing? And how am I implementing this? Analyze, plan, implement. Almost says API, but whatever. Okay. So with that in mind, the final thing, the bonus tip was to make sure that you visualize. And when I do bonus tips, it's not because there are some unique no. I'm talking about the thing that I really think is going to hit home. Visualization is key, it's paramount. So hopefully this has been really clear and useful. Of course, I'd love to connect with you guys. Okay, so you can definitely catch me on LinkedIn. Of course, you know I'm on YouTube already and on Spotify for my podcast. You can catch me on TikTok here and there. And again, if you want a competitive edge as a business leader in today's current climate, complete the form below. And of course, if you want to see more videos centered around life management, portfolio careers, and leadership, and all these different things I'm interested in, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And as always, my friends, understand, reach, and expand. Peace.